meant to be taking. So please pardon my tardiness. I was invited very impromptu to continue with this morning session. As usual, we're going to be communicating via the chat box for whatever contributions we're making and whatever questions that we have. Okay, I have been granted permission to share my screen. Can we all see my screen now? Is anybody hearing me? Can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Can you see my video?
Yes.
Thank you. Hi, Mr. Jagede KD, Oluwaseyi, everybody. Nice to be back. So from where we left off, we're going to, since this is starting quite late than expected, apologies for that. And again, apologies for my current tardiness, but we're going to jump right into business. I would have loved for us to have a very quick recap of what we did this morning to ensure that, we were together. I would have asked us to drop one or two things, but I'll rush through it. We went through the habit game where we figured out that some of us used to comment, serve breakfast under people's comments online. We learned what the internet is, and I explained that is a web of connected computers used for communications and the like. We spoke about what search engine is and how it is connected to our social media and our personal life. We also spoke about what information is sensitive to us. We also spoke about privacy and data that we can share or not share to people that we're just meeting for the first time. We also spoke about who, excuse me. Okay. We also spoke about who sees our posts whenever we make it public or private, and we also spoke about how we can make this post private. We went through cookies and your privacy, what privacy you can have with cookies, how you can clear your cookies. I answered that during the question and answer session. We also spoke about applications and permissions and how we should be wary and careful to not be granting permissions anyhow to different applications. We also spoke about Wi-Fi and how connecting anyhow will make us collect anyhow. Not all free Wi-Fi are free. Then we went to password. Okay, no, we did not. We stopped at Wi-Fi, yes. And I'm going to be starting today's session with password. If we have been together from the very beginning to now, I'll need you to share an emoji, post a reaction. Like before, my phone is here and I'm looking at your responses. It's going to keep me going because I was not expecting to be here this evening, and I need ginger, I need vibe from all of you. I need encouragement. Thank you. Thank you so much. Moving to that is a lot of reactions. Thank you. We have password. There are some questions I asked in the morning. Some of us asked some questions in the morning, and I was like, I'll answer that. It is in the second module. I didn't know that I'll be answering them. But if you remember those questions, after we have treated this module, you can ask them again and we'll be able to relate more since I'll be touching those points. Now, we're moving to password as continuation from this morning's session. I want us to imagine what somebody who has planned to harm you or cause trouble would do to your account, or you have not seen the slide. At the end of everything, you're going to see the slide, right? Now, imagine what trouble you can be in once somebody that is not meant to have your password, either a scammer, a hacker, it could even be a family or friend, right, that wants to infringe on your privacy online. What would happen if they have access to your the password to your social media accounts? Good evening, Fasasi Musibao. Welcome aboard. We all want to avoid this. right? You want to avoid sharing your password to people. You want to avoid making your password known to the public or any other person aside from yourself. For me, only I know my password. I have them saved somewhere in case of emergency. You do not know what could happen anytime, but I have them saved somewhere. But I'm the only one that knows my password. So have access to my password, you have to know me or you have to go through me, right? How do you know whether or not you have a strong password? We have been able to simplify what a weak password looks like so that you can have an idea of how to make your password strong. If only your name or your family name is your password, your password is weak. For instance, now I want to set a password for my social media account and I set it as Hassan Abdullahi. That is a very weak password. Anybody can guess that. Your date of birth is also a weak password. If anybody knows your date of birth, they have access to your password if you're making use of it. Your favorite club is also a weak password. And the combination of your name and your favorite club, or a combination of your name and your date of birth, is a very weak password. Now, common words like I love you, I miss you, I care for you, all those common phrases that you use a lot. If you make phrases like they play or you will explain tire and you use that as your password, somebody that knows you or an online hacker can guess that, okay, this is the kind of comments that this person make very well online. I can just guess and say this would be the password, and then they have access to your social media account. Then simple numbers or simple repetition of numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Some people put 18, 19, 20 or 0, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3. All of those combinations make a very weak password. And if we notice, our keyboard has patterns. There are different kinds of keyboard patterns. The one that I use here is QWERTY, QWERTY. They are all aligned on the same place. Another keyboard pattern is ASDFG. The arrangement of the keyboard. If you use it as a password, whoever wants to have access to your social media account would have access to it. Then if your password is short, that is, if it is less than 8 characters long, you have a very weak password. The next thing we're going to be touching is how to ensure that you have a strong password, and it would be nothing past ensuring that all of these that I've listed is avoided. Are we together on this? If we're together on this, kindly notes in the chat box. So like before, so I am aware that I am not just talking to myself and we're actually here together. We're together. Thank you very much. Now, we have brought to us a link, a website, a safe website. Of course, we're practicing safe online. We're practicing how to be safe online. We're practicing how to be safe online. So we have brought a safe website for you to check whether or not your password is strong. How weak or strong is my password? If you go to this site, https://www.passwordmonster.com. It's a very safe site out. Once you input your password, it will show you how long your password can be hacked. 0.5 seconds, milliseconds, how many minutes, how many years. So depending on the combination of password that you input, this website will show you how strong the password is, whether or not you can make use of it, and how long it will take a hacker to be able to get through to that password. So again, https://www.passwordmonster.com. We're going to make this slide available to you, or I think the class manager will handle that. So you do not have an issue with for that aspect. Moving on, how do you have a strong password? What is the recipe for a strong password? A strong password should contain contain the letters of the alphabet. And a strong password should contain at least one lowercase. So in whatever combination that you have chosen as your password, you should have one lowercase. You should also have one uppercase. That's a mix of capital letters. We're going to have letters of the alphabet. We're going to have a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters. Then you're going to have a symbol or characters, which is @ star sign, hash sign, dollar sign, percentage sign, ampersand, all of those characters, you can input them into your password. And then it should have at least one number and be at least 8 to 12 characters long. The shortest your password should be is 8 characters. That means if your password is capsma123 @, it should be 8 characters long at least. So you can make the first one capital letter, the one in between small letter, the one after character, whatever combination that you have, make it as strong as possible so that it should not be easy to hack. Ways you can protect your password. You know that we listed the recipe to a very strong password. And some of us might be wondering, oh, how do I want to remember all of the different passwords that I want to have in all of my websites or all of my social media accounts? It's easy. You can make use of a password manager. Google has a system for them to say, for like when you see remember me, they'll remember your password. So the next time you want to log in, you may not need to input the password any longer, right? So if you're making use of a password manager, it is the website that helps you save your information for future use. As I mentioned, Google has it. We have Password1 and LastPass. These are very safe sites or safe method to which you can manage your password. Then you can change your password, or you should change your password frequently. You can make it like a quarterly ritual. Let me not use the word ritual. You can make it like a quarterly habit. Every 6 months, I'll change my password, because once you use your password for too long, it is risky, as anybody that tries different combinations or is trying to hack your password, they may see that, okay, this particular password has been used in January. If they try their luck in December and you're still using that password, you're going to be at risk, right? So be changing your password very frequently, every 3 to 6 months. Now, do not use the same password for many accounts. If you have Facebook account, WhatsApp account, Instagram account, whatever websites or applications that you need to create an account and input a password, do not use the same password. This is because in case one of these accounts has been jeopardized, the rest of your account will be safe. If your if your Facebook password has been, if your Facebook password has been jeopardized and you're using the same password of your Facebook with Instagram or all of your other social media accounts, that means anybody that hacks a Facebook has access to the rest of your accounts, and that puts us at a very big risk. So if we have different accounts, different passwords for different accounts, it is very safe. Again, you do not have to remember whatever combinations of password that you have. You can make use of a password manager. The next thing is to use a multi-factor authentication, MFA, or other means of verification. A multi-factor authentication just means that aside from the initial password, there is another means of authentication that this is the right person. WhatsApp has it. Aside from your regular, aside from you logging in regularly, there's a 2-step factor authentication on WhatsApp. Facebook has it, Instagram has it. It will give you an additional security, an additional step in securing your account, meaning you can make use of biometric or make use of a different password entirely. That means they need to know 2 passwords to be able to have access to your account. So even if one password is jeopardized, they still cannot have access to your account without the second password. Then always update whatever software or applications that you're making use of. If you're making use of WhatsApp and there's a new WhatsApp update it, because these developers find faults in their applications or bugs that may give more security to the users. That's why they are always creating new, better versions of each application. Then the last thing, which is common but not also common, is do not tell anybody your password. You can say, this is my personal. He or she may want to, have an idea of what my password is, and then you go ahead to share it with your IC. Your body will collect. Anyways, if someone knows enough personal information about you, they may be able to guess your password. If someone gets close to you and they know enough about you, they know this is your favorite club, this is your favorite restaurant, this is your favorite person, this is how you think, this is your favorite color, these are the numbers that are related to you, this is your birth date, this is your mommy's birthday, this is your daughter's birthday. They can combine your password from all of that. That's why we have to, double up the efforts and try to protect our passwords. Are we together on this? Before I move on.
Very well.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you. Now, the next touch point is watching out for online scammers. There are lots these days. I tell you, there are very, very much. But how do we identify? I want us to share. Have you ever received a phone call? This person will mention your name and every information about you, and you later realize that you do not actually know this person. Has this started with? Has this happened to any of us? We can share. Or you receive a text message from somebody asking you to submit your BVN in order for you to upgrade your account. The most popular one that I know is somebody saying, oh, my name is Mr. Victor from Access Bank. I want to upgrade your account all the time, right? Now they've even moved and they're more malicious than before. Sometimes they'll call you and say, oh, you've won something, that you should claim it by calling a number. Once you click on that number, all your information is gone. It has happened to you from UBA. Oh my goodness. We get this a lot, and it is actually a lot. So we're going to talk about why do they want to have access to our information. I think we have touched of this earlier this morning, where we spoke about why would online scammers want to have our access to our information, right?
Please, let people
And
unmute.
also,
Let
why would
people
a
unmute.
website you're no longer somebody is not muted? I'm so sorry, Sakina, I'm interrupting our meeting. Thank you. Okay. Why would a website that you're not logged into want to keep track of who you are and what your browsing history is? When we're asking ourselves those questions, right? There are certain informations that malicious hackers or scammers are looking for. We already somehow spoke about it this morning. And do you know what is a malware and what it can do? We'll talk about all of these things. Some of these we've touched about it. So since this is online safety, we're going to be reiterating most of this topic and phrases over and over and over again for it to be at the top of our minds, right? But moving on, I don't know if you can see my screen clearly. Can we share the difference between these two Facebook pages? If you can see my screen, like either one or two, which one is the view Facebook page? I just need like one or two responses. So we're trying to move fast. I'm feeling bad that we have delayed you all till this time. So I'm trying to be as swift as possible, but I would also need us to be as engaging as we were this morning and how we have been since we started. Somebody said two, another person said two. One is from the main app and the other one is from the browser. That is okay, very observant. Two. This this is interesting. Somebody said both. Okay. Two. Why are we saying two? Why is it two? Only one person explained. Why is it two or why is it both? What do you think is the second one? I can't see any difference. I mean, two is the app. Okay, my room is very stuffy. Obviously, it is two. It's almost the same, right? All right. Is the two. Only one page seen. HTTPS makes the difference. Okay, we are very informed people in this session, and I am nothing but glad for these responses. Well, if you pick two, you're correct. The second one is the correct one, and it is the secured one. And we're going to be talking more about it moving forward. If you've heard about phishing, or not the one that you will throw fishing line on it inside the river to catch fish. Oh. This one is phishing, and it is a cyber crime that victims are being targeted or contacted through email, phone call, text message by somebody who is acting like a reputable person or organization in order to trick you into disclosing sensitive information about you. When I shared whether we've had people call us that we've won something, that is phishing or cybercrime. It is a cybercrime, and it is done in, somebody said there are plenty on Twitter. I'm not really active on that app, so I'm not really clear, right? They would act like somebody you know or somebody you've had contact with. They could even come as a form of your boss. That's why most of them come as, oh, customer care representative from a bank. They are posing as reputable organizations to trick you to disclose sensitive information. And they look for who to defraud using different kinds of websites. It could be dating applications, social media platforms. Somebody said identity theft. They also steal identity. You could make use of Twitter, Instagram, and the like in order to get personal details or money from people. It's not just they stealing your identity, right? They may come and inform, oh, we are a family of four, we're going through a lot, we've not eaten for 10 years, we've not done. Some of those are real, while some of those are also on phishing, right? Some get their targets through employment scam. Oh, you have been granted a job that you did not apply for. You, in your mind, deep down, you know you did not apply for a job. So why are you clicking on the link sent to you for a job that you did not apply for? They will send a they'll sit down and concocate message that you have gotten the job and you have to be paid 50,000 naira per week. Click this link to claim it or to get access to the job. And then you fall into victim, right? But we're going to share one Mrs. Olainka story, which happened in November 2021. She unknowingly enrolled for an enlistment into NIS, Nigerian Immigration Service, through a cloned website. I want us to note that cloned website in November 2021. Somebody said, miracle, no, they tired Jesus. A cloned website in November 2021. She was to pay 1.5 as a submission fee, and using her husband's ATM card, she put in the bank details in the portal, and they deducted 4,000. Still, the application did not go through. She now tried it again using her own debit card, and she was debited of 5,000 without her approval. Still, the application didn't go through. She said she didn't know that the offer was fake because it looks real. That is why we went through this stress of figuring out which Facebook page is real or not, because they can create cloned websites. It will look exactly like the one you want to apply for. And by the time you input your card details, you realize that, oh, you're just seeing debits upon debits upon debits. So how do we spot online scammers? They pose like they're from somebody you know, and to try to gain your trust, they will come in form of urgency. So law. When they pose as somebody you know, you have the confidence that, oh, this is the person I know. The most recent one that is happening now is through WhatsApp groups, right? Once one person's account has been hacked in that WhatsApp group, if it's a closed WhatsApp group, for instance, in your school, you can have a group for social science teachers in that area, right? It's possible you know yourself or not. But once one teacher account has been hacked there, the rest of the teachers are put at risk, because the next thing they will do is to target another teacher in that group chat, and they'll pose as the person's account that has been hacked. So they'll pose as, okay, this is Hassan Abdullahi talking to you, and we have created a new group chat for this purpose. They are going to send you a link for you to join this group chat. Mind you, the link that you're going to be receiving is a link to grant them access to your WhatsApp. And the moment you forward that code to them, your WhatsApp is gone and you cannot have access to it until after 10 days. That 10 days is more than enough for them to get whatever information they want to get from your WhatsApp with people around you and beg them for money. They'll send, oh, you would believe it's Asana that is asking you, oh, I'm going through a lot, I need 10,000 naira, help me send it to this POS account. And people in their all very good hearts would send that money without knowing that it is me, right? So they're always trying to say things to get you emotional, and like I said, they come with urgency. Oh, you have to act now. Oh, right now I am at a very tight spot, but because you think it is somebody that you trust or somebody that you know, you fall for it, right? Another method is they asking for your personal information or BVN or your ATM pin and the like. Most of us are aware of all of these things. Or you realize that they send you you're being sent airtime and you're being asked to refund it, or you're sent money in your account and you're being asked to refund it. All of those tactics. Or sometimes you can be offered something that you do not need or want at that time, but because you mentioned it randomly, you're just saying it and somebody's calling you about it, it should ring a bell to you, right? We're saying all of these are the tactics and we're putting it in front of us for us to be aware that this the means to which we could be put on the spot with these online scammers. Now, what are the tips and tricks that we can use to stay safe from these malicious hackers? Is to not click on links in email or text without ensuring that that link has an S at the end of it. Most of us mentioned that HTTPS means that the site is secured and the padlock is there. Yes. So whatever link you're being sent, either on Zoom or, excuse me, or on WhatsApp or on email, you're advised to copy it. Don't follow it directly. You can copy it and paste on your browser to ensure that, Google has the way of telling you that this site is not safe, or it would not show you the entire link. Some links are being shortened, right? If you copy that link, there's a website you can go to expand the link for you, and you see whether or not it is secured. Or when you click it on Google, Google will tell you that this particular website is not safe for your use. Do you want to continue or go back? Now, at that point, is your decision to be whether or not you want to put yourself at risk or you want to stay safe online. You also want to watch out for words that are not spelled well. Certain links, they will say federal government grants, and then the grant is spelled as NATTR, GNATTR, or something. All of those peculiarities, we just need to be more sharp and more aware of all of these things, right? Do not log into accounts from a text or an email. Again, once you received a text, a link on your WhatsApp, Facebook direct message, Instagram direct message, do not log into accounts from it. Do not call an unknown number from a text or an email. There are lots of do not, because all of this seems like it's not, it's all of this seems all in our faces. Oh, I know this. But when you're put on the spot, when you're at that position to take the decision whether or not to move on with this, we get confused because they have the tactics of manipulation. So we also have to stop and calm down and make sure that we're thinking rationally whenever we are being asked to perform certain tasks, either following a link or, calling a specific number. Don't follow any link through any text or any email. Ensure that it is safe before you go on with it. Now, do not share your personal information on online, your BVN, your ATM card, or your details. This is a very common knowledge. But again, once we are put on the spot, you feel like, okay, this is the person I know. It happened to me, a very close aunt of mine. I saw her message out of the blue that, oh, she was going through a lot. She needed urgent. The first thing I did was to call her out of WhatsApp. I didn't even call her on WhatsApp. It was a WhatsApp message that I saw. So I called her on WhatsApp and I didn't act like anything was wrong in case she would say, okay, yes, she sent me a message, but nothing like that. And then I went on to probe and I asked for her. She was like, oh, no, it wasn't her. So imagine that I was not thinking rationally or I was all emotional. The moment I saw her message, the next thing is for me to ask for account number, and the next thing I'm sending money, I have already been a victim through my aunt, right? So we always want to be at our toes and be aware of all of these things. Moving on, are we together? I'm getting carried away, so I'm not asking if you are following me. I want to
Yes,
read
we
the ones
are
that stood out
together.
Yes, we are
first.
together.
We are
Thank you
together.
very much. Spotting fake news. How do we spot fake news? What is fake news? We're talking about how we're going to be safe online. We're talking about passwords. What is fake news and how does it come to our fingertips? Thank you very much. We got that D. I like this reaction. Have you ever forwarded this one, I'm sure I'll get plenty yes, but have you ever forwarded a message that was forwarded to you to somebody else before? We can answer on the chat box. Messages like, especially on WhatsApp, you see forwarded many times. So immediately you're getting it, you're also forwarding it to another person. Somebody said yes. Then have you shared a story or a trending news on your Facebook page or your WhatsApp before? You don't. Some people don't. Some people said. Some people said yes. Another person said unconfirmed news equals fake news. Very correct. You do not. Well, thank you very much. We're going to be moving to our food for thought. A person named Janet. If there's a Janet here, I'm so sorry. We did not create this with you in mind. But Janet receives a WhatsApp chat from her friend who resides very close to her that adding salt to warm water can prevent Ebola virus. There was a time that Ebola was very, very rampant, and there were lots. Janet, don't be angry. Oh. There was a time that Ebola virus was very rampant, and there were lots of messages. I think I even made use of that salt and warm water. Then I think I was still in my teenage years then. But the other person was very happy about the discovery and she rushes to share this information with her family and friends. But in our opinion, do we think that this message is true? And did she do the right thing? If you receive this message, what would you have done? We can just note your answers in the chat box as we have been doing. Do you think the message that putting salt inside warm water would prevent you from contacting Ebola virus? And do you think Janet did the right thing by forwarding this message to her friend? And if you receive this message, what would you have done? You would share it. Okay, Baba today Olumide said it's wrong. Informer said she would share it. Ayakule said it's misinformation. No, assuming that you do not know whether or not it is misinformation. And that person said very wrong of her. Okay, we all have what we think is right or wrong, but what is fake news? What news is fake? We're talking about spotting fake news. So what exactly is that fake news? Fake news is any news or story that is not true. One is still going on about taking immunization. Wonderful. Janet should have confirmed from the right sources. It is wrong to share an information you're not sure of. True. We are right on track on this. Now, what is fake news? Fake news is any story or news that's not true. Some fake news are true, but not 100% accurate, meaning that alterations have been made to that true news. And once any news has been altered, it becomes fake. Somebody said Janet was watching out for her friend. True. But to spot whether a news is fake or not, it is a question of verification. This is trying to find out whether an information is true or not, or sending it out. Most of us mentioned it in the chat box, right? Most fake news are shared in order to create unnecessary fear, shock, or anger. It happened a lot during the election period. That was a very, very sensitive period for all of us, right? But before you send out any information, always confirm it before sending it out to others. Most of us act like our grandparents. No, is it that bad? We do not have bad character like that now. But in order to spot whether or not your the news is fake, it's all about verifying. Going the extra mile to research, going the extra mile to ensure that this information that is coming from my table, is it true or not? Simple ways to identify fake news is to check the source, the person who writes it. Attendance, legal, class manager. Class manager, please send us attendance link. I think they'll make it available for you now. Let me go back to my session. Right. Now, check the source of the news. Who is the writer? Who is sending it? Is it somebody you can trust? Is he a reliable person? Is he or she a reliable person? The source matters a lot. If you're getting the news from a source that is not so reliable, you can disregard it and see it as fake, right? Then you can also ask yourself, why is this story being written, and why is this person sharing this news at this time? Especially during election period, there are lots of news that goes around, and then you'll be like, you should ask yourself that, is this part of propaganda? Is this sent in order to cause panic and chaos? Is this sent in order to rile me up, in order to get a reaction from me? Because some news are calculated and sent in order to cause riots, and most times it carries out. I'm wrapping up, Bo. I'm wrapping up. Then you might also want to ask yourself, who else is also reporting this story? If you see this story in this newslet, you need to confirm that other news outlets are also releasing this story or the news. You can also ask yourself that, does this particular news sound right? You can check online if something really happened or if something truly happened regarding that news. Then the pictures that are attached to that news, you can go online and search whether it is real or not. And then you can watch out for false headlines. The headlines can be that a tiger swallowed a woman's baby. And then when you follow down, check that particular link, you realize that the tiger they're talking about is a cat that the name is Tiger and it scratched the baby. So those kind of false headlines are being sent to attract you to cause traffic for that website, which is for their own good. So you might also want to ensure that you actually click into that link and read what the story is about, understand it, and confirm the source and the legibility of that link before pushing it out. Are we together on this? This is the last touch point, and I am very excited to be at this part because
yes, we are together.
I'm sorry that we're keeping you this long, but we're talking about cyberbullying and harassment. It is all related to online safety. Have you ever seen or sent comments to people's posts or saying you are ugly, you're a failure, or I hate you? Or have you ever posted an embarrassing picture of anyone online? You can just drop your comments in the chat box while we move on. I see people do that a lot. Like somebody will post a picture of themselves and they'll be like, oh, you're fat, oh, you're this, and make different kinds of derogatory comments about them. I should remind them of the attendance link. I'm sorry. Now, we are at a particular company added a new member to their team, and then the reactions of the colleagues are like this. they are asking, oh, is this a joke? Who is grouping this person? Pot calling kettle black, hypocrisy at its best. So they're just sending different kind of comments to this person. So what exactly is cyberbullying? Is making use of our devices, our phones, chat, social media tools to threaten or attack person. You could be rude or mean to somebody, pretending to be somebody else to spread secrets and rumors or hurtful messages to a particular person. This can be cruel and make other people depressed and may want to commit suicide. We may not see it as anything. We can see it as, oh, catching crews online and passing comments. Oh, you're giving bans, especially that X app, Twitter, right? Most people just point fingers and send comments while hiding at the back of their keypads. But whether you do that or not, it is called cyberbullying. Nobody wants to be bullied online. And the most important thing is to know how to handle it. Handling cyberbullying and harassment can be done by reports. When you see any post or any comment on somebody's post that you think is as a result of cyberbullying, you can report that comment on any social media application in question, on that social media application in question. So if somebody sent a post and then someone is saying, oh, you look fat, or something derogatory to that person that may cause the person harm unknowingly, you can report that comment and comments will be taken down. That way you're being an upstander, meaning that you're rising positively for others who are being bullied, right? You do not have to fight back or engage in keypad words with that person. Just report the comments and move on. You do not have to contribute or anything or fight with anybody. It's as easy as you reporting. I do that a lot of mine. I hardly comment, but I'm reading, I actively read comments and report anyone that I feel like, oh, you're harassing this poster. We should be more of upstanders. Yes. X app is not for the faint-hearted, but it is the best of them. I have no idea about that, but I am more of an Instagram and Facebook person because most of my things are, everything I've gained so far has been from Instagram and Facebook. Now, do we have any questions? I've been able to bring us to the end of this module. And I am nothing but glad, believe me, I'm glad that we have been able to wrap this up. That way, we do not keep you any longer. If you have any questions, please send. Somebody say Facebook is for all grandma and granddad. I'm not a grandma and I use Facebook a lot. So please, if we have questions from this morning till now, I am willing to answer it fully for you. Because we have kept you so long, I'm going to be very, very responsive. If you have your questions, please ask away. Attendance leak, you need the slides. Class manager would handle that. I'm texting the person that will make it available for you. How do you deal with a cyber bully? You have not related your lectures to the classroom. Okay, till tomorrow. Okay, when she's sleeping. Okay, now somebody asks how I saw, how do you deal with a cyber bully? Like I mentioned earlier, right? If you see any post or any comment, you just report that post and you can report the account. If you report the account, you see the options, they'll drop down reasons why you're reporting this account. And among that reason, Meta has made it available for you to use cyberbullying and harassment as an option for reporting an account. So that person's account is going to be flagged. You cannot be a cyberbullying and a cyberbully and somebody will report you and you go scot-free. That account will be flagged and would most likely be brought down, right? So you do not have to engage. Engaging with them is you giving them the might, right? So you just go and report them, just report them and go. You don't have to argue with them or anything. Yes, people do need to control their greed. Okay, somebody asked, what is cyberbullying in a sentence? It is the use of phones, chats, social media tools like Facebook, Twitter, etc. to harass or abuse, threaten or attack somebody. So making use of phones, devices, social media tools like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, WhatsApp to harass or threaten somebody. That is cyberbullying in a sentence. So your attendance link has been sent, and this brings me to the end of this piece. Thank you very much. I really enjoyed taking this group. I didn't think I would be taking us this evening. It is Larry versus Boo, but that's